Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show you this deck today. This deck I like to call free stuff. Everybody likes free stuff, right? If you play this deck, I can tell you this, you're gonna get a lot of free stuff. So it's very, very cool. I'll show you guys how it works, and hopefully you guys will like it and be inspired to build this deck for yourselves. Okay, so the first thing I gotta mention is that I included in this deck Soul Herder. Soul Herder is a nice card. You can read what it does over here. This is the important part of this card. It says at the beginning of your turn, you may exile target creature you control. At the end of your turn, if a creature you control was exiled this turn, pick up to one of the first 4 non-spell cards from your exile, return it to the battlefield under your control. Very cool. You can use that ability in a couple of different ways, right? Obviously, at the beginning of your turn, it's going to ask you, hey, do you want to exile one of the creatures that you have in play? You can say yes, choose a creature, get rid of it, and then at the end of the turn, you'll be able to choose one of the first 4 creatures or supports that are in your exile, take them, put them into play under your control. You can do it that way. That's one way to do it, but I prefer this second way that I'm going to kind of explain right now. I like to say no to the first thing that comes up right on your screen. It's going to say, hey, do you want to exile a creature? I usually go no, not now. And after that's done, I'll go to my hand and exile a creature from my hand. Right, I'll choose a creature card, click the exile, and then that's good enough. What you'll notice here is it says at the end of your turn, if a creature you control is exiled, you can go ahead and trigger the move that I was telling you about. You can go look in your exile pile and then go choose something that you want. You know, as long as it's a non-spell, you'll be able to put it into play. If you exile from your hand, that also counts to trigger this. So that's really, really cool. I like doing it that way because it allows you to keep something on the board for you to do some damage with. All right, that's one way we're going to get free things. This is the second way that we can use to get free things, the Tamayo Field Researcher Vanguard card. It says here at the beginning of your turn, if this support has 7 or more shields, all cards in your hand gain full mana. All right, that's pretty awesome. So we're going to try to build it up until it has 7. You can see what the skills abilities here. It's draw a card and then disable, so kind of some good stuff that are usable. We're going to use this draw card ability until this thing comes to 7. When it's at 7, we'll be able to get a handful of free cards. Alright, so real cool. Now here's the question, what are we going to do with that handful of free cards? You can play those cards, definitely you can play those cards if you want to. What I would suggest is playing this card here, Tovolar. Tovolar is a nice one, especially if you can get it onto this werewolf side. It says at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may drain all mana from your hand. If you do, target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+0 and gains trample until the end of the turn. This is another use for all that mana in your hand, right? We'll get free mana, hopefully, with the Tamayo Field Researcher, fill up the entire hand with mana, and be able to spend the mana on a nice big buff for Tovolar here. Hopefully we can get him into really, really big shape, you know, he's gonna be really, really big. And play the Kaela's Command. Kaela's Command is gonna give us double strike for Tovolar, which is gonna help us to win most games. Okay, so keep that in mind as we watch this gameplay. I'm really hoping we can showcase some of these things, get a lot of free stuff, get some good things out on the board, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys to build this deck or a deck similar to this. Alright, one thing I gotta mention is that I am using Calix for this deck. Alright, you don't have to use Calix if you don't have Calix. I like Calix because you can use this first ability here. It helps you to look through your library, fetch a card, that kind of thing. But if you don't have Calix, you can use different Planeswalkers as long as they have this white and green mixture. Right, if they're white and green or white-green and then another color like maybe Tamayo, then you can use it. Alright, so with that all being said, let's take a look at some gameplay. We have Atraxa in the hand. That's a nice card. It's an expensive card, but really I like it because it will be played, and once you play it, you'll pull some other things into your hand that you can use. It's going to ask you to take the next spell, the next creature, and the next support, put it in your hand, and then they all get free mana. So that's really, really nice. Alright, looks like the enemy has placed a card onto the board. Let's take Kayla's command, turn Kayla's command off at this point. I'll show you real quick, I forgot to mention this. These are the mana bonuses, right? Green and white both have 4. And you got blue with 2 over there. So just in case you don't have Calyx, you were thinking about buying him, yeah, you can take a look there and figure out what are some of his abilities. Okay, Atraxa is down. You've seen what he did there. Atraxa took some creatures, or took a creature, a support, and a spell from your deck, placed it in your hand, gave it some free mana. Right, let's see exactly what we got. I like Broker's Ascendancy. It's a real good card. Helps you to buff your creatures. Helps you to put some real good stuff on your Vanguard cards. You get a shield every time, right? So that's definitely helpful. Alright, let's take a look at what else we got. Ooh, not a whole lot, guys. I'm thinking about dropping this down, but you know what? Let's go like this. Shucks, we don't have a Cascade there, but that's fine. We're able to play our card, our Broker's Ascendancy. Okay, here we go. We're looking at it. Defend the Celestus. That's going to give the opponent some power there. And, not good for them. Alright. Alright, looks like we got Tovolar. Tovolar is a great card here. We're going to place him first. We're running out of space in the hand, but that's okay. We can exile some stuff next turn. Alright, let's take a look at what we got. Scoop this guy to the side, and there we go. Get a nice little collapse of gems there. Alright. Spell Painter. Nice. Okay. Oh, Tamayo Field Researcher. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the combo that we're looking for, guys, right? Tovolar plus Tamayo. Okay, so we're going to get Tovolar out on this turn, hopefully. And we'll get Tamayo Field Researcher out as soon as we can. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, let's drop this down and get a nice... Oh, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Looks like we gave a 5 match over here to the enemy. Let's see if they go with it. And no, they do not. There we go. Okay. Soul Herder. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, Soul Herder is great. Looks like we can put that in the second position here. I'm wondering if we can get 9 on this turn. If we can get 9 on this turn, that would be great. It doesn't look like it, guys. It doesn't look like it. Looks like we got some... You know what? Let's go for it. Looks like we can get a good amount here. There we are. Tamayo Field Researcher is out. Alright, so we're in a good spot. Let's go ahead and push Kayla's command to the front. The reason we're going to do that is because we want to actually get rid of Atraxa. These 2 ones out here, we're going to be able to exile those. And once we exile those, we know that we're going to be able to get free stuff because of the Soul Herder. Okay, let's take a look. I think we'll do this here. And that's perfect, just enough to get Soul Herder out. Alright, so, good question. Do we want to use the ability? Yeah, we'll say yes. You can see how he gets pumped up, right? The 31, that's nice. If you can imagine how it would look if we had the Kayla's command on him right now, giving him the double strike, he would have done that damage twice, right? And if we can find a way to load him up, give him a real big power there, a lot of times we'll use his ability mixed with the Tamayo, then you can see how the game can be just completely pretty much over with as soon as we get that going. Alright, the opponent is giving us some damage there. It looks like we're okay. Alright, Soul Herder, nope. What we're going to do now is take Atraxa, get rid of her out of the hand, and you'll see that it will definitely activate this ability here, trigger that ability. Alright, so that's real good. I'm going to turn Kayla's command on because I think basically what we want to do is get that double strike going. Oh, you know what? Here's another one. We get that double strike going, then you know what? It's over. It's pretty much over. Alright, we'll also take this Celestus here and throw it away. The reason being is that This is something, of course, not going to be relevant for us. We kind of already won this game. But if it was earlier in the game, we would have taken Atraxa out of our hand. That would have counted as an exile. And then we would have had a choice. Okay, which card do we want to bring back into play, right? Because of the Soul Herder move. We can say yes, Atraxa, but if we throw Celestis here into the exile, it gives us just another option. So that's just something to consider when you're using this deck. Alright, it looks like we're doing quite well for ourselves here. I'm gonna go with... Darn, doesn't look like we can actually use the Kaela's command here, but that's fine. Alright, so we're pulling cards right there. Let's go with this. And it will put some nice mana there, free mana, on the cards that I have at the end. Alright. What we're looking for is the werewolf version of Tovolar, and we do have it now. Okay, so if we have the werewolf version of Tovolar when it's our turn, we're pretty much going to win this game here. Ooh, looks like we're going to lose Atraxa, but that's fine. Okay, we do have the werewolf version here. Okay, Tamayo, of course, is filling up the hand. You can see over here, if you have 7 or more shields at the beginning of your turn, you can fill up the hand with mana. We've decided yes to do that. And you know what? For the purposes of this game, I'm going to go like this. But you know what? Let's actually... Yeah, let's go like that. And let's turn these guys off just to be sure. What I'm trying to do now is trying to figure out what's the best way to end this game. We're going to have Atraxa down. That's going to give us 3 creatures. And then we're going to have Kaela's command here. And it says if you control 2 or less, create a construct token. We don't want that, right? We want to have 3. 3 will enable this ability here. It says otherwise target creature you control gets 1/1 and it gets double strike. Alright, so that's what we're going for. That's how we're going to win the game here, guys. We're going to put Atraxa down and then hit up our double strike. Okay, that's it, guys. I gotta say, this has been an interesting deck to build. This has been a deck that I've tried to build for a while. I really hope you like it. And you can see there, it's an amazing ability at the end. Could have done at least 120 damage on that particular turn. But anyway, like and subscribe. I hope you guys like the deck. And yeah, like and subscribe. That helps. Okay, good gaming, guys.